Hey guys, what's going on? So this is a rant video, and if you are unfamiliar with my rant videos, if you go to my page and you go to playlists, I have separated all of the major things that I like to feature in different categories, and one is titled Rants. This is going to be a very different video, as you can tell by the other lengths of these videos. They're very long and they're very ranty, because all they are rant videos. Welcome to your first rant video, and if this is not your first rant video, welcome back. I don't know who this content is for, but this is the content that I live for on my channel. I feel like it's one of the ways that I distinguish myself from being any other Rush Royale content creator. For everybody that clicked on this specifically for the thumbnail, thank you. And if that is your actual question, if you wanted to talk about the new units, as said in this, the title for this live, which is where I'm going to be pulling all of my information from, for this video. I think they're good. That's it. I think they're good. And if that's what you came for, thank you for coming, like and subscribe. I think they're both good, but they're both legendary, and they're both going to be very difficult to get if you're not somebody who pays, hundreds and thousands of dollars into this game as soon as something drops in this game so that you can max it day one. If you're not that person, then by the time you get a max version of either Fortuna or Bard, and you see like how great it is, if you're going to get it at the rate that you have gotten every other legendary. And also, if you have never invested into a legendary hero, Necromancer or Zeus, that is how long it's going to take you to get to Fortuna. So they're both good, but I also think that they're both, it's going to take you a very long time to get them. But that is not what this is about. That's not what this is about at all. Because that would be an informational video, like a regular video that's not a rant. And what my rant videos are people that specifically say things about this game that I disagree with, and it's such a thing to me that I need to make a separate video. So for the majority of people, when they write like a negative thing, I can write like a thing back, and they drop it, they say something dumb, I say something, and they're like, yeah, alright, right? Like, they'll give me some hot take, like, Riding Hood isn't the best, and then I'll write a comment back, like, so, Riding Hood, what's better than that? And then they'll be like, Spirit Master's better, and I'm like, and then I'll write back, like, so you're saying that Riding Hood is second best? And then they'll be like, you're dumb, and then they'll just leave, right? That's usually how my negative interactions with people, like whenever I have negative interactions with people, that's usually how it goes. It's just very quick, it's very simple, and then we move on with our day. Like, that is also my thing, like, whenever somebody writes something negative, and I think that is wrong, I try to make them understand why they're wrong themselves. Like I will ask, like in the case of like Riding Hood isn't the best, I'll ask them, well, what do you think is the best? And then they'll say one thing is better than Riding Hood. And I'll be like, all right, well then you think it's second best. So it's not the best, but it's still great. Right? And that's usually how my interactions with people go. In the case of my rant videos, they go a lot farther than that. And I really want to bring up this one because this one is this is a special kind of dumb. So first off, the person that wrote this comment, they obviously didn't watch my live. They were not a part of my live. In fact, the thumbnail that I decided to use, that I'm pretty sure they didn't see either. If I go to my playlists, it's in my live videos. Oh no, it wouldn't even be in there. It would just be under my videos. So my video, it says, let's talk about the new units. And I used the Winchester and the machine gun, in my thumbnail. I thought it's really funny, because they actually are official Rush Royale assets. They are pictures that Rush Royale used in an official Rush Royale video. If you look up on YouTube Rush Royale ads, it's really funny. There's a guy named Vlad. I can never remember his last name, but if you go to Rush Royale ads, there's a guy named Vlad Stankovic. This guy, Vlad Stankovic, he has an infinite sum of official Rush Royale videos that they have, like whenever games do fake ads, he has a collection. I don't know if he's an actual, like, official person for Rush Royale, but he does have all of the official Rush Royale ads that they have used in the past. And one of them was, they used an asset that was the Winchester and the shotgun, and they made them look like real units and in the game. And so I used that as my thumbnail. And I'm almost positive they didn't even see that because they wrote this comment after the fact. So they just saw a title that says, "Let's talk about the new units." Ironically, in my live, I spent about 3 minutes maybe at max talking about the new units because nobody really asked me about them. And I thought people were going to ask me about the thumbnail. And I think I got a couple of that. But for the most part, it was just a co-op stream. My titles really don't matter for my live streams because I could title it anything. And if I title it like, oh, co-op, right? And nobody wants to play co-op and I just end up doing PvP the entire time, then that title doesn't matter. So I usually do jokey titles. And I thought, let's talk about the new units, and then having a thumbnail of like 2 quote unquote fake units, would be really funny. And by fake, I mean Rush Royale official fake. So this person commented on that video, which is a live that they obviously didn't watch. And then they themselves just wanted to talk about the new unit. And so this is what they said. If I can, yeah, here we go. So 18 replies. I didn't even like skip to his second comment. That his second comment was a real comment, right? But he decided to write it in 2 separate comments, and I just wanted to see how far I could take this first one. And 18 replies is how far I took this first one. Let's go into the second one. It's because of Knight Statue. It's so good, and there's no real substitute between Sword. They probably need another support. That's a reasonable comment, right? That they added Bard because it's so good and there's no substitute besides Sword for light faction DPS or something. I don't know. And they probably need another. I don't know. I don't even know what this comment is. Maybe that's also why I didn't respond to this. Because it doesn't have anything to do with the other comment either. The other comment is very, very like singular. And this feels like the middle of a sentence. So maybe he did watch my video and he's just commenting something that I talked about. And that's also a strange way to comment on a live video, on like a 2-hour, 3-hour, a 2.5 hour video. Like you're just watching it and you're commenting something that I said within that video, but not giving me a timestamp. I don't know what's happening with the second comment, but I was just so invested in this first one. And I wanted to see how far he would take it. Let me give you some context. If you haven't realized by now, this is a rant video. These are how my rant videos go. You don't need to be looking at the screen. I'm going to read you everything that I'm going to show you on the screen. And a lot of the time, I'm just ranting, like a rant. So background information about me. One of my favorite channels on YouTube is the John Campea Show. And it's a movie talk show. He talks for 2 hours about different topics or different movie information things that are coming out. Like today, for example, James Gunn just released the first image of Superman. He's going to talk about that, right? He talks about different things in the world of movie entertainment and streaming and, and anything in that regard. A lot of the things that have come up as of late are people being angered that characters are being race swapped. The characters that are normally white and then making it a black character. And then characters that are normally white and making it an Asian character. Or characters that are introduced to shows and they are a gay character. One of them was The Last of Us. That was a big one. The Last of Us episode. You know the one I'm talking about. The amazing one. The one with Bill and Frank. And in the game, Bill and Frank are already dead. In the show, they decided to show their entire life. And it was just two gay characters. The two male characters that were in love. And they decided to showcase this as an entire full episode, having nothing to do necessarily with the Ellie and Joel storyline, obviously, because it's about Bill and Frank. But it was used to showcase that even in this apocalypse, love can still exist, even though everything has gone to shit and everything is terrible. Love still has the ability to flourish and exist. And a lot of people took that and they were angered by the idea that it was gay characters in my show. Why are there gay characters in my show? Like, there doesn't need to be this. I just want zombies and I just want anger. I just want to see action, right? And people were angered about that. Or, you know, like when Ms. Marvel came out, or maybe not Ms. Marvel necessarily, but when The Marvels movie came out, or even before that, when Captain Marvel came out. Captain Marvel came out and people were angered that Brie Larson was cast in that role, and it was about a female, and it's a big female lead, and, you know, Marvel's gone soft, and, you know, this dang Marvel, like, they just wanted to add a female lead in order to get a female audience, and, you know, Marvel's gone woke, and they're only doing it to appease the female people, right? And I watched the John Campea show, and he always describes this in the same way. That's the world. For the longest time, there has been an active agenda of exclusion in Hollywood, where it's always been straight male lead. How many films before Captain Marvel have there been straight male leads? Right? Iron Man, 1, 2, 3. Captain America, 1, 2, 3. Ant-Man, 1, 2. Thor, 1, 2. Like, the Hulk movies. Everything. Just so many movies. Straight male lead. They do one female-led movie, and all of a sudden it's now an agenda. Oh, they're just trying to appeal to the women fan base. They don't care about artistic integrity. They don't care about, like, the people and what the people want, right? And that's how people talk. And artistic integrity is usually the shield that they hide behind, right? Like when Ariel was played by Halle Bailey in the live-action Ariel, a lot of people are angered that Halle Bailey is black, right? Ariel, in the cartoon, she's white. Now she's black. And everybody is, like, angered that she's black, right? Because that's not my Ariel. I think that hashtag, that's not my Ariel, was trending. And that's when that happens. When that's not my, right? That's not my Ariel. And people got really upset that she was black, right? John's argument is, well, Halle Bailey is also, 5'6". Ariel in the Little Mermaid cartoon, she's 5'5". Are you angered by that? In the live action, Halle Bailey is not going to have as red of a hair as Ariel. Are you also mad about that? They also don't really sound the same either, right? Are you also mad about that? No, none of that matters. But the pigmentation of her skin matters, right? That there are some characters that are inherently, they need to be what they are, right? Black Panther needs to be black, right? But there are also a lot of other people that don't need to be anything. And so they can be anything. I, as an Asian American person, I was very excited when Shang-Chi came out. I think Shang-Chi is a great movie, but I was also excited because Shang-Chi came out and it's an Asian like superhero. And there hasn't been an Asian superhero in a movie or in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which I love. And so for me, that's a very exciting moment for me. That's not an agenda, right? They didn't say, oh, we need an Asian superhero. Like, and even if it was, why not? Right? This is my baseline for my thought process while we dive into this. Cause Kamehama. Kamehama? It's Kamehameha. That's what it is. Kamehameha, it's Dragon Ball. I understand that that's Dragon Ball, even though I don't watch anime. Despite being Asian, I do not watch anime. That's something else that you can know about me. Oh, is it all gone? That would be really sad if it was all gone. 1 second. Okay. I don't know what happened there. And ironically, even if it was gone, even if this entire thread got deleted, I kept the receipts. I videoed this entire conversation as a screenshot. So don't you worry. This video was definitely going to happen because it's important for my channel. So this person says, I'm so happy that they didn't make the characters gay just because we are in times where everything needs a gay character, a black one, or it would not be seen, or it'd be seen as not inclusive and bad. That was their initial comment. Let's just like hold on to that. I need you to burn this into your brain, because we're going to come back to this one. And I feel like within this conversation, this person forgot that he said all of this. I am so happy that they didn't make the character gay just because we are in times where everything needs a gay character, a black one, or it would be seen as not inclusive and bad. I'm not sure if they're talking about Fortuna or Bard, but this is a wild take to have. This is a wild comment. I do this thing, let's talk about the new units, right? I'm sure that's how you clicked on this video, because you thought I was going to talk about the new units. Is this what you thought I was going to talk about? Is this why you clicked the video? Because when I opened my comments to let's talk about the new units, this isn't what I thought I was going to talk about. But I was like, okay, I'll talk about this. So I said, how do you know that Fortuna or Bard aren't gay? And you said, you're happy that they aren't. So are you saying that you would have been angry if they were? Right? Because that would balance, right? You can't say, I'm so happy that they're not, if what you meant to say was, I would be angry if they were, right? This person says, no, I wouldn't be angry. I would just have the feeling that they put them into the game just because they want to please certain groups of people that obsess about it. That obsess about it. That obsess about the world looking as it is. Because that's what this world is. There are Hispanic people and Italian people and white people and I as an Asian person and black people. Like that is what this world is, right? When you watch movies now, for example, they put so much diversity in it that it doesn't represent reality anymore. This is when I knew I had to make this a video. When you watch movies now, for example, they put so much diversity in it that it doesn't represent reality. Having a cast of 20 people and 5 people being gay, 4 people being Asian, 9 people being black, and 1 being white when the film plays in Sweden doesn't make sense. So they're just white people in Sweden? Is that the diversity in Sweden? I trust that maybe, like, if you go to China, there's less black people than if you go to Africa, right? But all of those people still exist in the world. And if that bothers you, like if you were watching like a movie in Africa or set in Africa and there was a lot of like Asian people in that movie, why would that bother you? It's funny to me how like the great lengths that people are willing to go to avoid saying that they're racist. And you will see over the course of this video how far this person is willing to go to avoid saying that they're racist. If it is in another country, those numbers may differ, and it's more about it being not relatable anymore if it's too far from reality. Let me remind you. I just want to remind you really quickly. We're playing Rush Royale. He's talking about this game, Rush Royale, where there's a fairy, there's a dryad, right? There's a big blob guy who's a scrapper, right? He works in the mines. He's a big blob. There's a vampire. There's a banshee who screams really loud and it kills things. There's monsters. There's a dragon. He's saying that if there were, he's so happy, right, that they didn't make the character gay because that would be unrealistic. Because, you know, it's too far from reality. That would be crazy. That would be insane. So I said, so what you're saying is that you would find something wrong with them adding a gay character or a black character. You originally said, I'm so happy that they didn't. My question is, what emotion would you have felt if they did? For example, if I told you, God, I'm so happy my car didn't get stolen, and you said, how would you feel if it did get stolen? Right? And I said, oh, I just meant cars are good when they're not stolen and they're left in the place where the owner left them. And you said, no, but how would you have felt if it did get stolen? I'd say pretty fucking mad. Pretty upset that it got stolen, but I'm happy that it didn't. Because I would be angry if it did. There's an opposite reaction. If you can say, I'm so happy it didn't, then that means that you'd be so angry if it did. They said, I didn't say that I was happy they didn't add a black character. I was just talking about the gay one. Let's just go back to that first one again. I'm so happy they didn't make the character gay just because we are in times where everything needs a gay character or a black one. Or it would be seen as not inclusive and bad. We'll go back to that thing. I didn't say that I was happy they didn't add a black character. I was just talking about the gay one. So now we've established he's okay with the if they added a black character, but it's specifically the gay one. I was just talking about the gay one. While it's true that I'm happy they didn't, it is in proportion to the size of the situation. Yeah, if my car would have been stolen, I'd be mad, but that's a whole other proportion. That's a whole other thing. If they added it, I would be a little bit upset for 5 minutes because I would know that they didn't do it because they are supporters of the cause. It would be to be politically correct. Okay. I would only be upset for 5 minutes. The fact that he's upset at all is very telling, right? Is that not right? Whether or not you're upset for 5 minutes or for the rest of your life, right? Doesn't that already say something about you as a person? Like if you said, oh, I hope my work doesn't hire black people. Oh, if they did, it's fine. I'd be upset about it, but just for a little bit. But it's totally fine if they do. And you just decided to try to backtrack your statement. Like, isn't the fact that you have that as like a thing in your mind, right? I'm so happy that they didn't make the character gay, right? Oh no, I wouldn't be mad forever. I would just be mad for a little bit though. It's fine though. Like, but I'm so happy that they didn't. I'm so happy that my work didn't hire a black guy. But like, it would be fine though if they did. It's fine. It's fine. I have friends that are black. Like, doesn't that give off that kind of energy? I have nothing against women. I have a mother. It's fine though. Like, you know, I'm not against women. Like, I have a mom and a sister. You know, like I support women as well. But you know, if they hire a woman, then, you know, like it would bother me just a little bit though. Like, doesn't that give off that kind of energy? Like the fact that you'd be mad at all, or the fact that it's even a thought. Like, oh no, I hope they don't add a gay character, right? Despite how long you'd be mad about it, like whether or not you'd be mad about it and quit the game forever, because gay characters are not your thing. I don't need gay characters in my realistic world of blobs and banshees and vampires. It ruins the illusion. I don't understand this guy. So, okay. So I wanted to break this up because then we have to establish what he thinks is a gay character. And with gay, I mean some guy dressed like a female, not people that behave normally and are gay. There are few people I know that are gay, and they all don't have the drag queen shit going on. Oh, you knew this was going to be a rant video. Oh, you knew this was going to be a rant video. There was just so many moments in this like conversation where I was just like, oh, I'm so excited to make this a video. Like, to showcase that, yes, there are people like this in the world. That, you know, despite what you think, there are people that are like this, and that hide behind things. And that are like, I'm not the bad guy, everybody else is the bad guy. I don't need that unrealistic cross-dressing in my dryad banshee blob game. I don't need that unrealistic stuff in my game. I don't know what you're trying to do here. Maybe wanting me to self-reflect or something that I'm racist. But I need to tell you, I'm from Egypt. So yeah, I don't have any problem with the blacks. It's just the quota thing that drives me crazy. I'm so happy they didn't make the character gay just because we're in times where everything needs a gay character, a black one, or it would be seen as not inclusive and bad. I'm so happy that they didn't do this. I need to tell you I'm from Egypt, so yeah, I don't have any problem with blacks. It's just this quota thing that drives me crazy. Female quotas, gay quotas, disabled quotas. Oh, Rush Royale, if you're listening. Cause Kamehameha also doesn't want you to put a disabled person in this game. Because that would be a quota. No female quotas either. You should take out Mermaid and Priestess. That's clearly a female quota for this game. You're just trying to appeal to the female audience. You should hire a person. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. At some point, this conversation was about Fortuna and Bard, right? You should hire a person based on capabilities, nothing else. This stuff gets pushed amongst reasons. That's why I think and everyone is entitled to disagree. So I said, So in conclusion, you're happy that they didn't add a gay character and you're not racist. That's basically what they said, right? They wanted to establish that they're happy that they didn't add a gay character, not black, because he has black friends, right? And that he is definitely not racist. And so they said, if that's the conclusion you got to, right? Just a smarty, like, if that's what you want to think, right? He's saying all of this. I haven't said anything. I'm merely reacting to what he said, right? I'm going to skip over Small Shamer here. He says, I feel that would alienate the player base, not worth the risk. So how would you feel if they did add an Asian hero to the game? He said he wouldn't mind. He'd be fine with that, because he's not racist. I just wanted to clear that up. That's basically why I did that. So then I said, what if it was an Egyptian person? Because that doesn't really reflect the world that I live in. And that's very strange if they did that. Because as a person in the United States, we don't have a lot of Egypt people here. And it doesn't really reflect reality. It doesn't really feel relatable. You would feel like they were doing it just to please Egyptian people. That's basically a reworded version of if you didn't get the joke there, that's a reworded version of exactly what he said, but using his race as if I replace everything that he just said with his race. He says, then you can say that you don't like it because you can't relate to that. I don't see a problem with that comment. So this is him double downing on his original comment about exclusion. So I said, no, yeah, there's totally nothing wrong with that. You can totally dislike people that are different than you. Kinda sounds like racism. Yeah, that's totally fine. He doesn't see any problem with that. Kinda sounds like racism. Kinda sounds like exclusion, if not racism. If not blatant racism, it sounds like exclusion. It sounds like this game can only be for it can only have white people in it. Because if it has anything else, that would make this game unrelatable. There should only be white characters in this game, because if there was a black character, if there was a cross-dressing character, that would make this game unrelatable, and I wouldn't know how to relate to these dryads and minotaurs and these blobs. It would just be so ridiculous if there was a cross-dressing person in this game. That's the thing that would push it over the edge for me in this dragon-based game. So I did a follow-up, and my follow-up was, do you think when they add women characters to this game, they did it because they wanted women to play the game, right? That maybe that's why Rush Royale added women to this game, why they added Priestess, why they added Mermaid as a hero. So he said, and this is my smoking gun. This is when I officially told myself this is becoming a video. I was excited to make the video earlier. This is when I decided it is going to be a video. Did you even read what I wrote? I can still like everyone and still say I want Black Panther to be a black man. That's fair, right? I agree with that. Spider-Man, a young white kid. And Black Widow to be a woman. Black Widow is inherently a female name. Like that is what that is. Like a Black Widow is it's tied to that. It's not about a specific thing I am against. I just don't like the misrepresentation of existing things. And this is when I knew I could get him. I didn't think he was going to fall for this. I honestly, Into the Spider-Verse is a very big movie. They made a sequel to that movie, which was even bigger. Across the Spider-Verse. And I'm looking very forward to Beyond the Spider-Verse. But Into the Spider-Verse was a very successful movie. And it's becoming like Sony's biggest, like again, I follow a movie website. This is what we talk about all the time. I can still like everyone and still say Spider-Man is a young white kid. It's not about a specific thing I am against. I just don't like the misrepresentation of existing things. So I said, and this is where I knew. This is where I knew. Does Spider-Man have to be a young white kid? And I was like, he's not going to fall for this. Into the Spider-Verse did very well, and Across the Spider-Verse did even better. I was like, there's no way he's going to fall for this. There's no way he's going to show me his hand. Because the thing about racist people is that they hide behind everything just to avoid calling themselves racist. And the entire like joke that I did, oh, I'm not racist, I have a black friend. Oh, I don't, it's not that I'm misogynistic against women, I have a mom, right? People hide behind these things. And people that are racist will keep repeating the same kinds of phrases. I don't like the misrepresentation of existing things. So I said, does Spider-Man have to be a young white kid? At which point he said, yeah, that's the original source material. So everything else is just disrespectful towards the author and is done because of different reasons than making the movie, series, or comic actually good. Disrespectful toward the author. The other thing people like this like to hide behind is, I am a purist. I am all about the original author's intent. Hans Christian Andersen, when he made Little Mermaid, it was a white person. And you're trying to misrepresent her by making her Halle Bailey a black person. Hans Christian Andersen, I am a purist. I need my mermaids to be real and white. So, the original source material, so everything else is just disrespectful toward the author. Now, I thought he might have gotten me, but I was pretty sure I was correct. What was I correct about? Spider-Man. Spider-Man creator, original white Peter Parker Spider-Man, created by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko. Miles Morales, Into the Spider-Verse, Black Spider-Man, created by Stan Lee, Steve Ditko, Brian Michael Bendis. I'm only going to say this once. If you want to write racist comments, or in my live stream, comments about beating your wife, because that was fun. That was a fun one. Somebody said that if I hate this game, that he was going to beat his wife. And I said, what if I love this game? He said he would beat his wife more. If you want to write comments about being racist, or about spousal abuse, or you want to write comments saying like, say the N-word, right? If you want to write racist, inflammatory comments, I'm just going to block you. So I believe I can say hide from channel. I might have to go. I'm gonna do it later. But yeah, if you want to write racist comments, if you want to say how this game needs to be the pure Dryad Minotaur dragon game that it is, and there shouldn't be black people, and there shouldn't be gay people, and there shouldn't be cross-dressing people in this game, because that's not my Rush Royale. And that's a ridiculous kind of way to a representation. I don't need you on my channel. I don't need your subscriber number. And if you are, please unsubscribe to me. You can kindly leave. Because if you write anything that's like this, I'm just going to block you. I'm going to report you to YouTube. Because I don't stand for that. That's not who I am as a content creator. And if you want to be that kind of person who would dislike them adding a gay character, right, cross-dressing character into Rush Royale, and that bothers you, you can go. You can watch some other content creator. You can be on the other side of YouTube, where everybody hates all of that. But that's not what I'm about. I like talking about the game. The game for what it is. Being so elated that there is not a gay character in this game is insane. Writing a comment to say, "Oh God, I'm so happy that they didn't add another female hero to this game. We have so many females in this game. So glad they added a white male that's probably straight and plays football." You know, like, I don't need that kind of negativity. I don't need that kind of, like, person in my subscriber base. That is not a representation of who I am and what I represent here. So if you are, please leave. I don't need you.